35, fresh start, fresh start. Okay, we're talking about school. The Toronto District School Board welcoming back many elementary students today. There is a warning, though. Class sizes could exceed the cap set out in its reopening plan. But Education Minister Stephen Lecce is suggesting otherwise. Have a listen to what he said.
In Toronto District School Board, as an example, in those higher risk communities that the local public health officer under the leadership of Dr. Davila, working with public health, Dr. Williams at the command table, Minister Elliott, and of course the Ministry of Education, identifying those high risk communities. In those schools, there is an absolute cap from kindergarten to grade 3 of 15 children in that class. In grades 4 to 8, it is 20 kids.
But is it really the case? And how are parents feeling about sending their kids back as Toronto recording more than 100 new cases of COVID-19 on Monday? For more, I'm joined by Seth Bernstein, a parent, a teacher, and a member of the Safe September organizing team, a group of parents fighting for changes to the province's return to school plan. Good morning to you, Seth.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining. So let's first begin with you. You are a high school teacher with the TDSB. Can you talk about what your process has been like? Because I've talked to a number of teachers who've said the last week has been a whirlwind, and now seeing virtual learning even pushed back further.
Sure. Yeah. So it's a mixture of emotions as a teacher. I'm really excited to get back and see my students. I miss them. It's been a long time without them. And the joy of my job comes from being in a room with young people and being around their incredible ideas, and it's just an inspiring space to be. So I miss that feeling, and when we were doing it virtually, it wasn't quite the same. So there's that excitement, but there's also, the understanding that going back in the classroom now brings a certain level of risk that wasn't there pre-pandemic. So just working to do whatever we can to make things as safe as possible for our students in the classroom right now has been a priority and taking up most of our preparation time as we get ready to start on Thursday.
Well, you are wearing the teacher hat, but you're also wearing the parent hat. You've got a daughter right now, I believe grade 6, going to grade 6.
That's right.
And will she be attending in person?
She is, but we, my partner and I have had conversations that are still ongoing about how we're feeling about this. So Minister Lecce talked in that clip about class sizes being reduced down. I'm not sure that there are absolute caps the way he claims. The Toronto District School Board certainly did what they could within the framework that the government had provided to bring caps down as much as they could in communities that were hardest hit by COVID. And they did amazing work to do that. But the ministry also rejected plans that would have cost less and brought down class sizes across the board. And so for us, with a kid going into grade 6, we know the epidemiology suggests that she transmits COVID. Those kids transmit COVID like adults do. And yet her class size is capped at 27. And that's a lot of people in a classroom. And they're going to be eating lunch in there unmasked. So we have real worries about the situation that's been set up for our kid, and recognizing that across Ontario, in high schools, there will be class sizes of up to 35 or more without caps still.
Understandably, so much concern. Sick Kids releasing some observations from that simulated study talking about, whether or not kids could actually keep the masks on, if they could keep that 2-meter distance, the long of the short showing that not necessarily the case. I'd love to get more on your take on this. We've run out of time, but these are some interesting findings because it is equivalent to what you've been saying here. It's very much parallel that can we do this? I know you're doing your best as a parent and teacher, so thank you for all that you're doing. And let's keep this conversation going because I have a feeling things are going to be changing in the coming months from what we see right now.
I think so. Thank you for having me, and know that education workers are doing whatever we can on the ground to make things as safe as possible for our students. We miss them, and we can't wait to see them.
Seth, you're doing a great job. Thank you so much for
all
your time this morning. 6:40.